For our learning journey this morning, we are going to be answering the question, can I use a blurb to make predictions? To be successful in doing this morning, we're going to be able to read the blurb, we're going to explain what you know so far, and highlight any words that you don't understand. To start with, we're going to reflect on what we looked at yesterday. So I want you to have a think if you can remember what our new class reader is called. I then want you to answer the question, what do we think is going to happen based on the front cover? Okay, I'm now going to reveal the book to see if you were correct. So our book is called Oliver and the Seawigs, and hopefully you'll remember yesterday we had a look at this front cover and were highlighting anything we can see and what we think is going to happen based on this cover. So we saw monkeys, we saw the octopus's tentacle in the bottom left corner, a mermaid's tail, and some eyes and what looked like some teeth. We also were discussing what we possibly thought a seawig was, and some of you thought that it was some form of sea monster. Now, if we're going to be looking at the blurb today, we need to try and think about what a blurb actually is. Whereabouts do you find this in a book, and why is it really helpful? So, a blurb is a short description of a book. Why are blurbs helpful? They give us a sneak preview into what a book is going to be about. So let's have a look. This is the blurb from Oliver and the Seawigs, and what I quite like about this blurb is you also notice a new character that we've not seen before. So I'm going to read the blurb to you. Oliver grew up in a family of explorers, but his biggest adventure is about to begin. With his new friends, a grumpy old albatross, a short-sighted mermaid, and a friendly island called Cliff, Oliver goes off in search of his missing parents. But before he can put his rescue plan into action, there's an army of pesky sea monkeys to contend with. We also, on this blurb, have a quote from a man called Chris Riddell, and he says that this is a delightfully told, beautiful tale of nautical hairdressing, saltwater primates, and sarcastic seaweed. This is my kind of book. Now, hopefully you've been excited whilst listening to this blurb, because I think it definitely sounds like an intriguing and exciting sort of book. Now, what I would like you to do today is I'd like you to create a page based around the blurb. What you're going to need to do is separate your page in two different sections. In one part, you're going to answer the question, what have you learnt based on the blurb? So what characters do we know about? What do we think is going to happen? You're doing a little bit of predicting there. An explanation based on what you've read. Then I'd like you to do a section, are there any new words that you don't understand? It's really important when we read new books to understand all of the words, and there are definitely some in there that are a little bit tricky. So what I'd like you to do is write those down, and we will then have a look at them together another day. And finally, in the blurb, it talks about the fact that Oliver's parents have gone missing. So what I want you to do is think about where do you think they've gone and why do you think they've gone missing? On the next page, I'm going to show you an example that a Year 5 did based on a different book, just to give you some ideas on how you might lay it out. So as you can see, we've got the page separated into 3 sections there, okay? And that's a nice idea of how you might lay yours out. I hope you enjoy doing this task, and I look forward to seeing your results.